podcast hosted by me, MG Hunt. Still feels kind of weird saying that, but anyway, this is another little project, little side quest of things that I get up to, and today I'm coming to you with a bit of a casual offering, casual discussion about 5 indie fantasy books I'm excited for in 2025. The idea came to me as I was planning about who I want to reach out to and tee up potentially some interviews, discussions, people that I'd like to have featured on my little platform. So that's how the idea kind of came about, me thinking about, there's some exciting books coming out next year that I've come across and seen on my radar. So I just basically want to talk about that, and looking forward into 2025. There's a lot of exciting things happening, not just in my world, but in the world of a lot of indie authors, and it's really exciting to see what they're putting out. So I thought, let's talk about it. I've made a list of 5 books that I'm excited for. That list is definitely not exhaustive. There's so many more out there that I would love to know about, books out there. So if anyone has suggestions of some other books coming out next year, please let me know. I want to have a list. I want to add them to my to be read list on my Goodreads. But we'll go through the 5. So the first one is Woman of Wolves by Jess McFarlane. First of all, the title. The title is everything. That was partly kind of what inspired me to make this video, is because I'm so excited for this book. As soon as I saw the title of this novel, I knew I had to add that to my to be read list. The title proclaims ferocity, strength, and not to mention feminine rage, as Jess McFarlane herself describes it. According to the tropes guide that the author Jess McFarlane put on her Instagram, the book does feature a few very popular tropes, such as the enemies to lovers, a bit of a slow burn romance where the heat scale keeps going up, strong female characters with a hell of a lot of feminine rage, and by the way, these are all in her words, and huge muscly warrior men with hard shells but gooey centres. We love to see that. So medieval fantasy is a favourite of mine, and the promise of an exploration into Irish folklore, that really gets me excited. I'm highly anticipating this release, and it's scheduled for the 25th of February, so not too much longer to go, and I cannot wait to see the cover. At the time of recording this, I'm not sure what the cover looks like, but it'll be epic. I'm sure it will be epic, and I cannot wait to see it. So, number 2 is Of Sky and Embers by Claire Butler. This is the sequel to her first of the series of Sand and Silk. First of all, the covers. The covers are beautiful, and I've talked about in my previous post about some of my favourite covers by indie authors. This book, Of Sky and Embers, promises to have more intrigue and more depth of this sand magic filled world. Of Sky and Embers is going to see characters survive deserts and deal with secrets revealed. And this is a direct quote from the About post. As gods and kings wage war, is love strong enough to stand between death and divinity? And what intrigued me about this series in the first place was the desert and Middle Eastern inspired world building. Yeah, it's a beautiful setting, ripe for magic and intrigue. And as per what was featured in the first book of Sand and Silk, were the romantasy elements that are still continued in this book. It looks like we're going to expect more of the plot twists, more of the sand magic, deities, multiple character points of view, and of course, everyone's favourite, passionate romance. I'm very excited for this. The release date is scheduled for 18th of January, so very close to when I'm recording this. Okay, number 3. At number 3, I've got Of A Kingdom of Curses, The Emergence by Danielle D. Drummond. Okay, as someone who is unapologetically drawn to pretty images and graphics, I could not resist the stunning tarot posts that Danielle has been putting on her Instagram. I love tarot. I love astrology. I love all those mystical things. So, of course, when I saw those graphics, I was immediately intrigued. So, apparently, the tarot reading posts that have been popping up on the author's Instagram page are related to a tarot reading that the character Paige, I believe, receives. So, this book is set to include some of our favourite themes, such as a unique magic system, some hidden lineages, a bit of an enemy to lovers romance, and some secret identities. So, as Danielle writes about the book, this is a quote from... Sorry, just get rid of those birds. I'm very excited to see this book come out. I recently saw on Instagram a cover reveal post for this book, and yeah, it looks amazing. I'm very excited to see this book come to life. It's scheduled for 28th of March next year. Number 4, I have A City of Smoke and Demons by Kate Schumacher. The title of this dark fantasy immediately caught my attention. The focus of this novel is set to be a bit of a steamy romance, but in a slow burn kind of way. As Schumacher herself describes the book, it's a gas lamp fantasy romance, and it's set to be filled with secret societies, magic, and a Victorian era Gothic aesthetic. So there's a plethora of popular tropes that are in this book, such as forced proximity, a bit of a will they won't they romance, hence the slow burn, found family, and some low magic systems. And of course, it wouldn't be a typical review of mine if I didn't mention the cover. It's gorgeous. It's very moody, bit of red, bit of black, and the font chosen for the title, I love the whimsical and dark romantasy elements that are coming through in the cover. And the book is scheduled to be released November 2025. And my last book I have on the list of my 5 books is Enemies to Booksellers by Laura Catherine. First of all, the title of this is so playful, and it's hard not to be intrigued by this book. When I was reading the blurb, the story starts off with a character named Morgan faking her own death, so that immediately piqued my interest. The story within is set to be a cozy fantasy, and certain themes in the book are found family, mental health representation, queer romance, and learning to speak up and learning to trust. I do like to break up some of the heavier, darker fantasy novels with something that is cozy, so this offering from Laura Catherine seems to hit the nail on the head for that. And when I was reading the overview for this book, I was particularly interested in the statement that is written here, which is, can Morgan keep her happy ending, or will her secrets destroy everything? And I guess I'll just have to read and find out. So Enemies to Booksellers is scheduled for release 18th of January. Finally, I do have a honourable mention to pop in here, and that's Whispers from the Curse by S.K. May. The release only misses out on my official five book list on a date technicality. It was brought to an earlier release for December 2024, and the original date was going to be in January, but now it's earlier, so yay for that. We follow the characters Nick, Roman and Larissa again in the aftermath of a brutal attack. So this is from S.K. May's overview. With the threats emerging from unexpected places, friends turned foes, vengeful witches and lurking werewolves, Larissa and Nick must navigate a treacherous landscape of betrayal and magic. Will they uncover the secrets hidden in the darkness, or will Larissa ultimately succumb to the curse? Ooh, exciting. This is a sequel to Whispers in the Blood, and in true S.K. May fashion, this book is set to be filled with many shock discoveries, and of course, plot twists. We love it. People that know SK May knows that she loves a plot twist. So I'm excited for that. Am I excited? I better brace myself. Of course, there are so many indie books coming out in 2025. These are my picks, but I would love to know yours. As I said before, I would love to continue building my list of books that I'd love to read that are indie fantasies. Let me know what you're interested in reading in 2025 from the indie publications that come across your Instagram feed. Let me know what your picks are for 2025. Do you like what I've suggested on the list? Or perhaps there are some other books that you're screaming at me saying, why didn't you talk about this book? Oh, you need to talk about this book. Let me know, my friends. And I would love to have it on my radar for 2025. So thank you for listening, watching, however you engage, and let's bring on 2025.